Let me say good morning once again. Welcome to the Mid-Morning Buzz Classic Radio, GBN TV. Good morning once again. Welcome one and all. It's 2025, and it's also the 9th day of January. Let me say good morning to my guest this morning. Let me say good morning to Miss Reese. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, GT, and Happy New Year.
Same to you, my dear. Same to you.
You say it's the 9th.
Yeah.
The month is going fast.
It's on the move.
It is, yes.
Also, let me say good morning to, I think it's the first time I'm having a conversation with you on the program. Let me say good morning, Ms. Olivia Victor.
Good morning.
Good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning. Thank you.
All right. Well, once representatives here from the National Lottery Authorities in studio, there's always good information that'll be thrown out.
Yeah,
there's always something good. There's some information that will spur the interest of our listeners and viewers over there as relates to what's happening within the National Lottery Authority.
Yes,
so tell us. I'm kind of all ears today. I want to hear what's going on.
Okay,
so let's kick it off. I'm assuming there's new promotions in that will be continuing from 2024 into 2025.
Yes.
All right.
There will be new promotions coming up as the year unfolds.
It's only obvious, right? The year is young still, as they would say, right?
Right. But we do have, as you rightly say, a promotion that started in 2024.
Yes.
Started, I believe, the 15th of November, and it continued up to the 31st of December. It ended, but we are at the stage where we are about to reward people with the ultimate prizes. So we're talking about the 2024 You Must Win promotion.
All right.
That promotion, we had customers who were winning cash prizes of $50, $100, $150, or free instant jackpot $2 Instacash tickets. And those tickets, you can win prizes underneath them.
Okay.
Right? So we had those, but we also had customers winning free ballots, vehicle raffle ballots, where they get to put their name, their telephone number, most important, and their address on those ballots and enter them at any of our locations inside of the branded boxes. So that has happened, and from last week we started collecting those entries from around the 3 islands. And if you were to go into the St. George's Service Center right now, you'll see a huge barrel inside there with entries just gathering.
All the names of all who are,
everyone who
partaking in the promotion entered there, and they're waiting on the draw. When will that draw actually be taking place?
So that draw is going to be tomorrow. The 10th of January.
Your kills come on Billy anticipation on people like that.
So I want to point out right now that for those of you who did not put in your entries, you have up to today.
Today's the final day to get those entries.
We are not going to be accepting entries on Friday.
So
Friday's draw day.
So those the outer parish areas in the parishes or the outer parishes that were collected, they don't have to come to the main office to put those entries.
Well, right. So we collected from every agent, but if let's say there was a customer who did not bring in the entry, if the agent choose to accept it, then they go to our offices to make their payments twice a week, so they can carry it in.
Okay.
But they can also advise the customer to bring it to Lucky Charms, GT. We're not Lucky Charms.
You see, you mustn't say that.
And you know what?
I think I have one in my pocket. I'd probably give it to you.
I shy away from these things. Oftentimes people meet you and they say, give me a lucky number now. And I don't want to, because if by chance the number I suggest got called, got drawn, then you start saying things like, I know what the numbers are.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't get drawn...
That might be a conflict of interest there, right?
Well, it's luck and chance, eh? But if it doesn't get drawn, then you start saying, I gave you old number and that kind of thing. So
I get the drift. So you better you stay neutral and don't do nothing at all.
Yes.
But it doesn't matter if you give
So to end on the You Must Win promotion, we're drawing tomorrow in the afternoon.
Yes.
Of course, the NLA outside promotion will be in effect, meaning that we are going to be selling your favorite games from as early as 10 o'clock in the morning. We are going to have a number of draws for the Instacash product, the Lotto product, and the Scratch product at the location. And from about 3 o'clock thereabout, we are going to start preparing and executing the draws for 2 Suzuki Swift vehicles.
Because I was just about to ask you, what is that grand prize the individuals are winning?
Not one.
You spilled it already.
2. We have a black and a pearl white.
All right.
And yes, I'm sure there are customers out there that would be very happy to have that life-changing prize, that life-enhancing
what a way to start
prize.
2025, right?
Yes.
That's the way to start 2025.
Yes,
so you say the draw is on tomorrow, and it takes place at the Esplanade Mall Courtyard.
The Courtyard,
All right.
that's right.
And you said it actually kicks off from 10 a.m. where all the other games from the National Lottery Authority will be available.
Yes.
And then at 3 p.m. the actual draw kicks in.
The actual draw for the You Must Win promotion.
All right, and as you also mentioned earlier, if you do have the tickets still that you have signed up and you probably just didn't get the opportunity to put that in that box, you can have that done. You have up today's the final day to have that ticket.
Up to today.
All right.
And I'm not giving you time. Once you submit it today, we'll get it in. But
today. There's 24 hours in a day, right?
Yes, that's right. And in lottery time, we do go up to what we call 11:59.
Okay.
That's lottery time. Lottery time is not 8 to 4.
All right.
It's not main office hours or sub-office hours. It's from 12 midnight to 11:59.
Yes.
So they have up to 11:59. I don't know who they get in at 11:59. Maybe they can slip it on the door or something, right? Well, but yeah.
Just make sure you get it in.
Yes.
That's the current thing. Just make sure you get it in.
Yes.
No, there's also information that we're going to share. We're going to have, of course, Ms. Olivia going to talk to us in relation to that. She's the market and communication assistant. Yes. And we're going to talk about, of course, the mid-afternoon draw for, daily games. Tell us in relation to that.
Okay, so players now have more chances of winning with the NLA. Starting Friday, the 1st January 2025. 31st, sorry. We would be launching our mid-afternoon draws.
Okay.
And it will be conducted for all the NLA daily games. That's the Daily Pick 3, the Playway, and the Daily Cash 4.
When you say the mid-afternoon draws.
So we have a midday draw.
Yes.
A mid-morning draw. Midday. And then we have a mid-afternoon. The newly launched mid-afternoon on the 31st.
And that kicks in from the 31st of January.
And then we would have the night draws.
All right.
Yes.
So it's just more opportunities that are being available for individuals to play the games. More opportunities. That's certainly interesting. All right. And that means they have up to like 4:45 to 4:45 daily.
Yes.
Right? And that will be
that's
daily?
when sales close off.
All right. When we say daily, Monday to Saturday.
Monday to Saturday. Yes. So they play from they could win from Monday to Saturday, and that's some amazing news for our players, and even our agents. They would benefit from that. We just want to encourage them to keep in mind the date and to go there and play, just take advantage of the opportunities that the NLA has put in front of them.
And that is available for all the games that are played?
The daily games.
Just the daily games?
Yes, the Daily Pick 3, the Daily Cash 4, and the Playway.
All right, so you now have a mid-afternoon
Yes.
draw. Interesting.
Yes.
There's also that Saturday draws coming up also. Tell us about that.
And on Saturdays, it's now extended to 8 p.m.
I mean, it's in terms of additional time.
Yes, and
what was the previous cutoff time?
And the sales draw, it would cut off at 7:45.
7:45.
Yes.
All right. But what's the previous time? The previous time that was a lot.
It was 6:45.
6:45.
Yes.
All right. So you have more time.
Yes.
If you think you're running late, you have the time.
Yes.
You have time right now. All right.
I guess our customers would be excited for
They
that.
will be.
Yes.
I mean, sometimes you say, boy, I'm looking at my watch a little time. Now I have up to 7:45 and I have up to 8 p.m. So
some players
8 p.m.
will
the draw.
complain that it was unfair because Monday to Friday for the evening draw, they got to play up to 7:45. But when it came to Saturday, we call it earlier. It was 6:45. So this is basically what has happened. We've made every day even.
All right.
Yeah.
Every day 7:45, and that would do very well for our advertising too, because oftentimes when you come to talk about the draws, you have to make a distinction what happens Monday to Friday, and there's a distinction for Saturday. But no, we just get to say every mid-morning draw sales close at 9:45, every midday it closes at 12:45, every mid-afternoon it closes at 4:45, and every evening draw it closes at 7:45, Monday to Saturday.
Yes, so it goes across the board for all draws.
Yes.
From Monday to Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, but talk about a Sunday draw. I'm just kidding.
Nice pushing it.
We don't have Sunday draws, but we have games that you can play on Sundays.
Yes.
All right.
So you can play Instacash any day or time because there's no draw associated with it.
I've been trying to understand that one. Explain it to me.
The Instacash. So Instacash, have you played Scratch before?
I have played Scratch.
Good. So keep a mindset of a scratch ticket. The only thing is that the ticket is printed on demand. So when you go and you ask for it, the terminal print based on the game you'd want.
Okay.
As opposed to scratch where it's already printed, you choose your game,
and
you choose
scratch
your price point, you know, and you say, I want this.
Okay.
Right? But with the Instacash, it gets printed when you ask for it.
Okay.
And we have like as much as 18 games on our system. Right now, I believe we're promoting about 8 or 9 right now. But yes, so it's a soft ticket, and it's just like with Scratch, you have top prizes. So you have top prizes that are like 2,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000. But you also have what you call the mid tier and the lower tier prizes, the churn prizes.
Okay.
So the lowest you can win on a ticket would be the cost of the ticket.
Okay.
Where you didn't lose and you didn't win more, but you didn't lose. Yeah, so you may buy, let's say, an instant jackpot ticket for $2, or you might buy it for $3, or you might buy it for $5. Under those tickets, there are different prizes. There are different ways to win, different play styles, and you just follow the instructions based on what's on the ticket, and you realize if you've won instantly.
All right.
And just like with Scratch, the ticket can be scanned. So if you're someone who doesn't really understand the game, or maybe your sight is a little on the going side, so you can't really see the fine print, you can actually have the agent scan the ticket, and they will tell you if you've won and how much you've won, redeem it right there for you. So that is what it's about.
And the agent will actually pay you instantly also?
Of course, once it's within their limit.
Okay.
Our agents have categories, they have limits. Okay. And of course, it's also subjected to if they have cash available.
All right.
So they might be able to redeem as much as $4,800, and we have agents like that.
Okay.
But maybe what they have in their cash tin at the time is $3,000. So they will tell you either to come back later, or they will direct you to another agent or one of the service centers.
All right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I have never played it yet, and you're just drawing my attention to it. I somehow prefer the Scratch. I play a lot of Scratch. Right. You understand? But getting into the Instacash, I think
they're both instant winnings.
Instant winnings, and I certainly grabbed my interest on that a whole bit. Another I'm interested as from the national authority is the iLottery. Our good friend, I always seem to forget his name for some reason.
Amilcar.
Sure okay, he's probably saying GT again on my name. All right. I know he always explained it to me, and tell me about the iLottery.
So iLottery is a service. When you go to the agent and you form a line and you ask for what you want, that's one service.
Yes.
The other service is being able to use your phone.
Yes.
And to use your phone, you have to become registered as an online lottery player with NLE. So there's a whole process where that is concerned. In terms of registering, you need to have a valid ID. And when you are registering, the name that you would put when you're registering has to match exactly. It's like Western Union.
Okay.
It has to match exactly as what's on your ID. Otherwise, you will be rejected temporarily until that gets fixed. So you register, you top up. To top up, you have to go to the agent. We're not yet at the debit card and credit card usage.
All right.
So you still have to go to the agent to buy your top up. And you can top up as much money as you want on that account. And then in the comfort of your home, your office, walking, whatever you're doing, you can just play most of the games of the NLA. Right. So you can play Daily Pick 3, you can play Daily Cash 4, you can play Playway, you can multi-X that, you can play Lotto, the different combo bet types of straight, you can play Super 6, same thing, the different combo bet types of straight, and you wait for the draw.
I like the idea of it takes away the stress of standing in line.
Yes. That's right.
It takes away the stress of standing in line and waiting for your turn, and someone may hear your numbers. You see, like,
some people are very private like that about their numbers.
So it's in the comfort of your home. Anyway, as you said, you could be driving. I'm not encouraging, but you could pull up on the side and see like some numbers, something comes to mind at the time and so forth. So that's interesting.
But you know what happens when you're driving?
Yeah.
You see numbers and you see creatures.
That's what That's what comes to mind.
Inspiration happened there. So you pull over.
You pull over and you play.
That's right.
And you play. That's interesting, man. So tell us, we have some what else we want to travel this morning? Some sort of listeners and viewers this morning.
Let's see.
The Super 6 draws.
Yes.
Super 6.
The Super 6. As of Friday, 3rd of January, so that's past, we started, let's say, conducting the draws for Super 6, which is done in St. Lucia at an earlier time.
Okay.
So the airing of the draws is happening at an earlier time now. You can actually go live on the Super 6 Windward Islands page to see the live draw of Super 6.
Okay.
It's a little delayed for us in Grenada. Why? Because we add it to our air package.
Okay.
So we do air our draws at your station, and that has a time. It starts like about 8 p.m. So you would find actually that 8 p.m. the Super 6 draw is happening live on social media, but then you would see it as the last draw after we air the daily games, the lotto, if there's a lotto, and then the Super 6, or the daily games, then the Super 6, depending on the day that is happening. So you can view it live on the Winlot Super 6 social media page from 8. It used to be aired at 9. I don't know if you remember that, but long ago it used to be aired at 10. And then it went down to 9, but now it's at 8.
So it moved up at 8.
Yes,
8
as early as 8.
Right.
You can tune in on social media and see the Super 6 draw. And then if you miss that, it will be part of a package that is aired on GBN and the other stations where we air social media as well.
So if it's convenient for you to just get all the draws at one time, you do
That's right. You look at
the local draws and then you go to the Super 6. You drink that one time.
Right.
Or if it's your convenience, you want to pay attention to the Super 6 first, you go online and look at it there.
That's right. Because what used to happen is that we would air here the daily games and the lotto, and then we would have to wait for 9 o'clock to air the Super 6. But now, because it's happening at 8, as you say, you can watch it earlier, or you can wait for it to be part of that package, which by I think 8:30, it would be aired.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Multi-X will also seem to also another interesting added attraction to playing the games. How has that been for the National Lottery of Friday? How have customers been accepting the Multi-X?
Well, I would say that they've been accepting it very well.
Yes.
We've done quite a lot where Multi-X is concerned. We started with 2X, 3X, 5X, and the free plays in our ball chamber. Then we dropped the 2X.
Yes.
Then we added 7X.
Yes.
We added extra. I think it was 3X and 5X. I don't recall right now. So much has happened since.
I mean, I've been reading it out a lot myself, but sometimes I always listen to the changes that have been made.
But we've done quite a lot with the Multi-X add-on. And in addition, I think the last time you and I spoke, we were talking about Multi-X added to Playway.
Yes.
We had since added Multi-X to Daily Pick 3.
Okay.
I think that was in July, the end of July. And then we added, recently, I think in November, we added Multi-X to Daily Cash 4.
All right.
So all our daily games right now have Multi-X added to it. And we have this feature of the 7X. You can win as much as 7 times or 5 times you're winning, 3 times you're winning, not 2 times, but free play.
Free play.
Yes.
All right. I mean, as you said, you have to be in it to win it, right?
Definitely.
You have to be in it to win. You must play the games of the National Lottery of Friday. And I like to say that, you're supporting sports culture and nation building. When you
can't be sitting there saying, Lord, that was my number, I see that number, if I did.
I had that dream.
I should have, if only I did. You have to
I know.
play.
You got to play. You have to play. And sometimes, you hesitant for some reason, and then after you see the draw and you said, man, if I only had played that number.
Yeah, you have to have the fortitude to know that you win some and you lose some, but Grenada wins all the time.
In the final thing, the benefits Grenada, and and it's to go across the board in terms of helping the nation a whole lot. Anything else before we take a wrap for today?
Olivia would recap.
Yeah, Olivia, should be quiet.
Olivia is like the guinea pig here today, so we're gonna
you gotta send her a couple more times.
When you go to school, when you go to school, and you're like you're gonna wrap up and thing, Oli, you get a little wrap and thing.
I think you need to send her a little bit more so she, of course, talks some more.
Yeah,
That could
definitely.
work. Okay, so just want to encourage our players to come out to join to the 2024 You Must Win promotion tomorrow.
All right.
Well, not the promotion, the drawing of the
actual drawing takes place tomorrow.
So we have the two Suzuki Swift cars on display, and we're going to be drawing for the 2 winners tomorrow.
All right.
Okay.
So don't forget, today's the final day to get
Today's the
all
final
those
day.
entries in.
Yes.
Get all
yes.
those entries in that you had just sitting in the car or somewhere you had to say, hey, time for you to get those entries in.
Yeah.
You could be a winner tomorrow.
And it's thermal paper. So, and those thermal
Yes.
paper, they lose color in heat.
You don't want that happening.
The ink won't go away, but you may not be able to identify that it's a raffle ballot.
All right.
All right, the mid-afternoon draws is on all daily games, and that will be launched on the 31st of January.
Okay.
We have a new close-off time on Saturdays that's starting from the 1st of February, and it will be closed off at 7:45. The sales will be closed off at 7:45, and the Super 6, it will now be aired at 8 p.m.
All right. And my final question for Reese, can I go with that? What are we expecting more from the National Lottery Authority for 2025?
Wow.
More new games being added, more opportunities for the players to win.
More new games,
Yes.
more new draws, more opportunities to win, more opportunities to earn revenue. And we're talking about the agents and the NLA. At the end of it all. And a lot of excitement. We had a very large target last year to meet, and as every year goes by, it usually increases.
Right.
I've never heard of a company that said we're going to make the same amount next year, or we're going to make less.
Nobody
unless
wants
you have a pandemic.
less. Everybody wants always goes for more.
So it's expected that more is going to be asked of us, more is going to be asked of staff, more is going to be asked of the NLA through central government, because our thing is about supporting projects and initiatives. So the public can expect a lot more from the NLA.
All right.
As early as the beginning of the second quarter.
Good.
Yes.
Well, I'm certainly going to be all ears, and I'm sure you're going to be coming by and letting the viewers and listeners of course, know what has taken place in the National. I want to thank you both once again for being on the program this morning, coming and share the information. Don't forget, folks, if you want to for the You Must Win promotion, the final draw takes place tomorrow. Hope that gets something in the minds of individuals who still have those tickets there and haven't submitted them as yet. Yes. Today, as Rishi mentioned, you have until 11:59 today.
Yes. And I just would like to wish you and the staff, management of GBN a Happy New Year. We look forward to continued business relationships with you. We look forward to the accommodations that you afford us, like these.
Yes.
And just while you scratch our back, we scratch you.
Thank you so much, and you're certainly welcome. I'd like to scratch your back, man. No problem. Hey, folks, that's when we take a wrap for this edition of the Mid-Morning Buzz here on Classic Radio GBN TV. Stay with us, folks. We do have another segment coming up for you shortly. Don't touch your dial.
The St. John's Christian Secondary School 60th anniversary, January 12th to the 19th, 2025, celebrating 60 years of excellence through God's grace and guidance, calling all alumni. Come out and celebrate with us. Here's the calendar of events. On Sunday, January 12th, church service at the school auditorium from 9:30 a.m. Wednesday, January 15th, meet and greet at Belmont Estate 3:30 p.m. Thursday, January 16th, health fair at the school from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. Friday, 17th January, chapel day, open forum at 10 a.m., open house at 11 a.m. Sunday, January 19th, gala at the Trade Center from 7 p.m.
Looking to take your business to new heights? Advertise with GPN on our social media platforms and get noticed by our 138,000 plus followers. Reach a massive engaged audience ready to connect with your brand. No matter your business size, GPN is here to help you grow. Contact us today at admin@gpn.gd or WhatsApp 407-8458 to get started.
Welcome. I also we get caught off guard there for some reason or the other, But anyway, good morning to you folks. Did mention to you that we do have a second segment here on the mid-morning bus here on Classic Radio GBN TV. In studios, we have Dr. Julia Dubois with us this morning, and also we have Mr. David Stern Phillip. I hope I'm getting the names right. Stan Phillip. All right. Did I say Stern? But it's Stan. All right. Good morning to both of you, and welcome. Welcome to the mid-morning bus. Yeah. How are you?
Good morning, and thank you very much.
Happy New Year, I should say.
Yes, thank you. You also.
So we're talking this morning about the St. John's Christian Secondary School, their 60th anniversary. Way more before my time. Tell us about the, of course, the anniversary celebration and the plans for it and so forth. I'm not sure who's going to take the lead on that this morning, but tell us a wee bit about that.
We always like to begin by talking about the history of the school, because it's important for people to remind
that school.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
The school was founded by Reverend Melville Shaper, a U.S. citizen who came to Grenada in 1960. He got an urge to visit the country, and he came and he saw there was a gap in the education system. You said it was way before your time, so I probably will give you some education on this. Those days, to get into secondary school, you either had to pass the common entrance, the under 12, the under 14. Then there was a school living, and there were individual entrance exams for each secondary school.
Okay.
On the western side, there were no secondary schools. All the secondary schools were St. Andrew and St. George. So people on the western side, to get to secondary school, had to go to St. George.
So it was typically one of the first secondary in that area, that part of the island, you could say?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, great.
So in 63, he fell ill, and he promised God that if he survives, he will make good on his promise to set up a school. He came back to Grenada in 63, was ably assisted by two gentlemen, Mr. Ferrer and the other one was Mr. Dragon. They helped him look for. He was looking for a location.
Yes.
They pointed him to the brothers' estate. At the time, it was being managed by a gentleman known as I think it's Mr. Ferrer, and they had a discussion as to acquiring the property. The brothers' estate was called Revolution Hall Estate, and there's a bit of history.
Yeah.
Federal had his troops stationed at one time, so it was a historic place that he identified, and they saw the 18th century Buchan as a good place to set up.
All right.
So he came back to Grenada in '64. He and his family, that's Reverend Shaper, 7 children plus he and his wife, and they set up shop, as we say. There are people on the ground who assisted. Again, we had Mr. Ferreira, we had Ellie Purcell, and those persons assisted. And in 1965, what date? 11th of January 1965, the school was launched. So that's how we all began.
But you always hear the name as yes, we all know some may know it now as the St. John's Christian Secondary, but they always hear it as Shaper School.
Shaper School.
And I assume it got the name from
the founder.
From the founder itself.
Yes.
All right. Let's speak about, before we get into the whole anniversary. Let's speak a little bit about the accomplishment of the school. Tell us a little bit about that. Some of the accomplishments of the St. John's Christian Secondary School.
Well, I'll let Dr. Novoa say most of it, but I just want to say quickly that we always proudly identify Shaper School as a school of second chance.
Okay. Reasons?
Because, as I indicated, the people who Reverend Shaper saw as being left behind were people who would have been left behind. They couldn't have gone to a secondary school. They didn't pass common entrance, and the entrance exam for the other secondary schools were pitched at such a way that you had certain people getting on.
Well,
so people who never expected to be in secondary school ended up in Shaper and became the stalwarts of Grenada. I mean, we have some touring figures, and like I said, I'll pass to Dr. Dubois so she can speak on that one.
Yes. The school had been known for many firsts, right? Well, Mr. Philip indicated that is called the School of Second Chances, but now people even say School of Second and Third Chances. But one of the firsts is that we were the first school to, and it might seem simple, but for graduation, to have a graduation gown.
Okay.
And cap. It was the first school.
Interesting.
It was also the first school to have multiple choice questions for examinations. Right? It was the first school, I think, I stand corrected, to have started in January. Right? It started like he said, 11th of January.
And most schools will start their curriculum in September.
Yes.
September, right?
Yes. Right. And also, the school was founded on Christian principles.
All right.
I just want to say also that at the time, students from all over Grenada were at that school. We had a population of over 700.
Okay.
Right? And Grenada is small, but I don't know if you know that children boarded in Brothers
at the school also,
and in Florida and surrounding areas, because they would have been coming from maybe Grenville, and there was no bus system to take them to and from school. So their parents arranged for them to board. Of course, there was one time a vehicle, an agricultural person who used to give the children rides over the hills to come to school. But the school over the years has produced, and it's not we're not saying this because we want to call names or to just show off, quote unquote, but most of those stories came from the second chance stories.
Okay.
Right? And one of the people we always talk about is Brother George Wilson from Victoria, who was the oldest son of his parents. And in those days when the parents had a lot of children, then you would find that the older ones would help take care of the younger ones. So he used to go to fish on rocks and so through his line to get fish to help his mom feed the rest of them. And then by some way he had an encounter with Reverend Shaper. And Reverend Shaper offered him to come and do a paint job by the school, you know. Right. And while they're, I think, in conversation, he may have said, well, do you want to come by the school and see? Because he realized he wasn't going to school, a young man, and so on. And they invited him to come to the school. The rest is history. Brother George finished his secondary school education. He went off to the U.S., got his degrees. He was a principal of the school for many years. So the school has produced a lot of professionals. And it's not that they came through the regular system; they were given a second chance.
Okay. Right. All right, it's great to know. I remember, and you mentioned about how folks go to school. I remember I told you I did have a sister, and we lived in St. George's. Okay. I actually live in the River area. She used to transport from there to the school.
With the school buses, the yellow school buses used to be taking people.
I was no, she lives in Canada now, but I always hear her talking about. I would always remember her speaking about going to Shaper at that time. You know what I said? And she's in her way 60s herself, so she used to be attending that school. Yeah. All right. Now, tell us about some of the projects that will be taking place for the anniversary celebrations coming up. Some of the major projects.
Well, we have projects for the school, and then that have been ongoing because we have a trust fund that Mr. Philip can speak to. Yeah. But then there is also the schedule of events for the anniversary.
So let's hear about it. Let's hear about it.
Okay. So the past students of the school felt compelled. In fact, I'm class of 77. Dr. Dubois is class of 76. We graduated. That's the year we graduated.
You probably went with my sister, you know?
I suspect she probably would have been there.
Her name is Jennifer Telesford.
Possibly. Yeah, because in those days we had like 5 Form 1s, an average of 35 students per form, so it's big classes. Yeah. So the past students felt it necessary to give back. Okay. So one of the past students, Dr. Dubois, mentioned that he came all the way from Grenville. His mother pulled him from secondary school in Grenville and sent him to Shaper. He brought up the idea that we should establish a trust fund to do projects for the school. The trust fund have been doing scholarships, so a number of scholarships have been given to students. But the capital projects that we have done, and by the way, Dr. Dubois is the chairperson of the trust fund. She's still trying to get socks to fit the shoe of Brother George Wilson. He was the first chairman.
All right, you bring it there sometime.
Yes, and he wouldn't say, but he's a director on the trust fund.
Yes, I'm also on the trust fund. Yeah. So one of the projects that we have done, in fact, it's about 90% complete, is to refurbish the playing field at the school, because students had to go to Cuthbert Peters Park to train, etc. And that was funded fully by a past student. That's Dr. Khan Ned is the son of Whipple-Ned, so there's a foundation, Whipple-Ned Foundation. So they funded that, over $300,000. The other capital project that we embarked on is one to convert the school into a smart school. Okay. And we keep into the theme that SJCSS is a school of firsts. Technology has been introduced into education, but some institutions are limping along, and we wanted to jump ahead. So the plan was to ensure that each classroom is converted to a smart classroom with interactive smart board where students and teachers can interact during learning, so make learning fun and enjoyable. So we reached out to the corporate community plus our past students, and we were proud to announce that on the corporate community side, Republic Bank came forward and sponsored 2 classrooms. Again, Wibblenet Foundation through Grenade, that's the U.S. entity. That's the Net Brothers again, sponsored 7 classrooms.
Okay.
We have Dr. Tristan Smith. He did 1 classroom, and Caribbean Agro came forward and they also sponsored 1.
Right,
so
great.
out of the 15 classrooms, we have 11 sponsored. We're still looking for 4 sponsors. But
So is there any implementation rate, but how soon that will start?
Well,
Not that you haven't got all the classrooms as yet, I understand.
yeah,
So
the equipment would arrive at the end of January. So we'll roll off with the classrooms that we have.
Okay.
And the others will add as we go. We started with a pilot project using whiteboards, and it excited the teachers and the students. So we upgraded to smart boards.
Okay.
And that would enable the interaction in class, to also take care of the slow learners, persons who would say, yes, I understand, but we know they don't.
They don't.
So because the classes will be recorded, they'll be able to log in and replay what Miss said in class. And it will also take care of the problem we had during COVID for off-site learning. People can log in and be interactive.
You know, that kind of process of learning, is that interactive way where you could be in your comfort of your home also and review your subject matter. It certainly will be interesting.
So that's one of our...
And for children, just let me say, and for children too who would have missed class,
yes,
they have the
probably
opportunity
always
to
go back and review what actually took place.
So this is one of our signature projects for the 60th anniversary, and like we would have liked to have it rolled out during the week, but we had some challenges with transportation, etc. So that is coming. So we are appealing to the corporate community. We still have room for you, and one of the things that we have been doing, or we have promised, is that every entity that sponsors a classroom, their name, I like to use the word emblazoned. Their name would be emblazoned in the classroom, so students would know who made them comfortable in the classroom.
All right, that's interesting. And you said it's a school up first, right?
School of First. And the other project that we're running, there's 3, is the school bus project. Now we are fortunate, Dr. and myself, when we were going to school, we had a bus taking us directly to Brothers.
Yes.
Nowadays, the students don't have that comfort, that luxury. So they have to take a bus to go off and then either foot it up to Brothers or pay another transport to get up there. So we saw it fit, because we want to build the population, bring it back close to where it was. We decided to do a school bus project.
All right.
And we in keeping with the drive to the Green Society, we identified electric buses. Okay. So the plan is to have 2 23-seater electric buses. All right. That's going to take students from Guave to Brothers. So
you'll be looking from the town of Guave to take it up to the school.
Sure.
Okay.
This project has not yet been funded. We're still looking for sponsors to come on board, and we would also be having their names on the side of the bus. Anybody who comes forward, sponsored by JT, for example.
I mean, it's wonderful initiative to put them in. I mean, in the 60th anniversary, getting your school to do something of that nature, it's a great idea. And it's also a way of alleviating the stress from the students having to worry about how am I going to get to school, especially students that may come in from the outer parishes, St. George's or wherever they're coming from, get to go off and have to worry about how am I getting to the school again, probably waiting another bus or so on. The bus be really available. I guess when it's sorted out, we'll see the benefit that will certainly bring. Definitely see the benefit that will bring.
So these are the 3 projects, major projects. Like I said, we're still looking for funding to complete the smart school, and the buses will definitely look. And it's not, we have managed to raise $188,000 for the smart school project. Our target was $267, so we done about $80,000.
No, that's going to come.
And we're hoping that when we come from here, we'll get some phone calls. And with the school buses, $185,000 EC dollars for the 2 buses, which again is manageable.
It's doable. It's doable. It is doable. Now, 60 years of the school. How does it make you feel as past students of the school yourself?
Very, very proud, very honored to have been, afforded that kind of education, because it was very all-rounded. Mr. Shaper, in his wisdom, he realized that not everyone has this academic ability, like Stan would say, slow learners, but he realized that, and so we had other subjects being introduced, like typing and
mechanics.
The mechanics. There was a mechanic there. We had a mechanic class going on. Okay. So in all, it was a school that was the curriculum was well rounded for any student at all. Yes.
All right.
And it was Christian based.
Okay.
And a lot of, even some people now who don't bother to go to church or whatever, they still talk about the memories of the devotions we used to have in the chapel time in school,
All right. It's interesting to note. All right. Now, the highlight of the celebration. Tell me what will be one of the key highlights of this particular 60th anniversary celebration.
Well, it's just a week of activities that we are going to have, directly for that, where we have invited all the alumni, those who reside here, those who are abroad, to come and join us this coming Sunday at 9:30.
Yes.
Sunday the 12th of January, we are going to have our church service in the chapel in Shapers in Brothers, right, at the school. Okay. The holiness, first of all, the church was known as the Fire Baptized Holiness Church, but now it's called the Bible Holiness Church.
Okay.
And so we understand that all of the churches around the island, the Bible Holiness churches, are invited to join us for that church service at 9:30 on Sunday. Following that, on Wednesday, we are going to have our meet and greet at Belmont Estate.
Okay.
So it's an afternoon, because it's at 3:30 in the afternoon, where everybody will gather there and socialize and talk. And we're also going to appeal to those who have not come on board with us to realize the dreams and the projects, the completion of the projects that we just mentioned. We're going to invite and appeal so that they can come on board, and it's going to be we expect it to be a fun time, right? But a memorable. And on Thursday, we have a health fair that begins at 9 in the morning at the school. It's mostly intended to serve people in the community, like in Brothers, in Florida, Cloget, Waterloo, and those places close by, and the students as well. So, and in that health fair, we're going to have visiting doctors from the U.S., those who passed through the walls of SJCSS to assist, and they're really, really excited about it. So we're looking at people like Dr. Diego Humphrey, Dr. Tristan Smith, who's been making waves. The two of them have been making waves in cardiology. Dr. Khan Ned. We're hoping Dr. Kestened would come. We're waiting to see because he's so very busy. And Dr. Sharon Auguste McBain and her daughter, they're both doctors, and her daughter, she passed through the walls of SJCSS, along with other doctors. And here we have some well-known medical professionals, doctors like Dr. Francis Martin, Dr. Kester Dragon, and others, who've really who are alumni of SJCSS. And we have nurses, Sister Norris Martin Charles is the one coordinating the health fair, been doing an excellent job. She's invited students, past students who are now in the medical field to join us. So Sister Humphrey and others. So we are looking forward to having a very great health fair there. And of course I'll be there.
All right. And you're not mentioning yourself
in the oral health.
All right. Right.
And on Friday, we're going to have, this again is another exciting activity. It's going to be an open house, and we're going to have a chapel service in the morning that's going to be reminiscent of what we used to have before. And there's going to be the launch of GEMS. GEMS is a mentoring program that will be launched by spearheaded mainly by the daughter of Brother George Wilson.
Okay.
Right, because they lost both parents, and they really want to make a mark, leave some legacy of the parents with the school. So they're going to launch that, and we're going to also be having a session where parents and students, we're going to bus those students from different schools, and we're hoping to get from all the schools we visited, because those schools were visited by Romeo and Fraser and Judy Lewis, to encourage parents to come to the school to see what the school is offering now, and to see if the children would make those choices when they do the exams to go into secondary school.
Okay.
So we're going to bus those kids in and have a really nice interactive session with them to encourage them to, because we want to build back the population, not for numbers' sake, but because we're going to be offering really, really a high level of education and the syllabus,
Okay, great.
Then finally on Sunday. Yeah, but I must say on Saturday we're looking forward to having a football match.
Okay.
All the past students in Cuthbert Peters Park.
Okay. All right.
And on Saturday and Sunday, we're going to have, that's the grand finale, gala at the Trade Center under the auspices of Dame Cecile Lagrenade. And we're going to have award ceremony there as well, to recognize some people who've really, really given sacrificially to the school, both those who are here with us and those who will be given posthumously.
Okay.
So this is a encapsulation of what is going to happen.
All right, great. Well, we're strapped for time. We'll have to take a wrap up. We have the midday edition of news coming up next.
Right.
Anything in closing before we take a wrap?
Well, we want to encourage particularly parents who are listening, as Dr. Dubois said, to point their children in the direction of SJCSS. There's a legacy. There are exciting things coming. I mean, the smart school. Like I said, we're going to be the first smart school in Grenada, where students can learn in comfort and make learning fun, right? So that's one thing to look forward to. Transportation issue will be taken care of, but the spiritual side, as Dr. Dubois mentioned, I mean that helped to buffer a lot of us who went to that school, and it offers a well-rounded education. So we're encouraging people, and those who are listening to us, the sponsors, etc., potential sponsors, please reach out to us. We're quite willing to take you on board. We'd like to mention you publicly as contributing, because we usually say there isn't one business based in Grenada that can see that they have not been benefiting from SJCSS. So we look forward to a 60th celebration.
I want to thank you both once again, and certainly hope that we hear more about and all the best, I should say, for the anniversary coming up. And I certainly hope, of course, everything rolls out smoothly. The plans for the being a smart school hold that rolls out successfully, and all the other initiatives that should be implemented for the 60th anniversary. Hope everything rolls out nicely.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for having us.
Certainly, you're welcome. Hey, folks, that's where we're going to take a wrap for this edition of the Mid-Morning Buzz here on Classic Radio GBN TV. The midday edition of news is next.